What is good, everybody? I'm Phil. I'm here with Green Shirt Guy and C-Bizzle, and it is time for Fill in the Blanks, doing Ultimate Wolverine today. Back in just a little bit.
Days make the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life. Crisis after crisis.
What is good, everybody? How are you doing on this lovely Thursday? It's beautiful out here where I am. It is time for Fill in the Blanks, episode 4. We're drawing Ultimate Wolverine, Green Shirt Guy, and C-Bizzle. How is your Thursday going, guys?
Could be better, but I'm glad I'm here.
All right.
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Burger King.
Oh, that's right. You're not a Bills fan.
Nah.
Some Burger King? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh, like, wow,
love
Burger King. I had
right now.
burgers for dinner tonight, actually. Like
Yeah.
before coming onto the show, I had some burgers tonight.
I would love some Burger King right now.
I don't really like Burger King. Their chicken sandwiches are okay, though.
I love the Whopper. I would rather have a Whopper right now.
I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
With Hudson Valley people, do not go to the one by Marist.
Oh,
It is
I have not been.
the slowest service in Dutchess County. It is awful.
I used to get it like all this because there used to be a Burger King at the South Hills Mall where I work. And, like, Burger King was like the cheapest dinner I could get, like 2 cheeseburgers and like a 5-piece chicken tender, like $3.
Right.
So I used to get it like all the time. But now I can't really like. And every once in a while I'll get that combo, like because like I worked with at Toys R Us, and me and a couple of my friends at the time, we had to go down to Yorktown to like remodel their store down there for like a month. And that's what we ate like the whole week was this 2 cheeseburgers.
Right?
So we called that the Yorktown special, like the Yorktown combo,
Nice.
because we had like a per diem, but we were only going to spend
right.
like $3 for that per diem. Like,
Right. And you always maximize what you can get, too, with
Ye-
those.
yeah.
Because you don't spend your... Like, you can spend your own money, but you'd rather not.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, we're drawing Ultimate Wolverine tonight from the Ultimate Universe.
You don't want to
Oh.
pool your money and get, like, a pizza or something?
No, we rarely like we got Chinese food like once, but
Oh,
most of the
okay.
time it was like Burger King that whole month.
Right on. Woo.
So, what tools are you guys working with tonight drawing Ultimate Wolverine?
I am still using my draft pencils.
Okay.
Right now I'm using it's called Graph Gear 500 and it's a 0.5. I'm trying to remember what lead I'm using. I can't seem to remember what lead I'm using, but it is a thin lead, so I could just do my normal sketch real quick, and then I go over with a darker lead to get all the shadows and the details of the artwork.
Yeah.
I did my typical digital. I did a little bigger than I was planning.
Oh.
It doesn't quite fit on the cover, but I adjusted it. I'll make it work. So I got
Mine is not fitting on
my
the cover
blue
either.
non-repro pencil that I'm kind of trying to darken some stuff up before I start inking, and then I have my Copic, and I have another black pen here somewhere.
Okay.
And then I might actually color this, so I might get some markers out.
JSS Brooklyn has a question. Do you guys place this sketch artwork up for sale after?
I haven't yet, but I might start doing that.
I haven't yet either. I'm trying to finish up till this weekend. I won't be as busy. One thing I'm doing is just clean out the garage. Ain't gonna take too long. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go back and the first 3 books that we drew, I'm gonna finish them up, and then I may sell them or I may throw them in a giveaway. And we'll see. We see what my mood is.
What I would say is, if you aren't already following, I don't know about you, but if you're not already following me on Instagram, that's usually where I put stuff up first.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be like, hey, it's done. If you want it, contact me, that kind of thing.
His Instagram, if y'all want to know, is right there underneath his name. So y'all should follow him because he's a great artist. Follow him.
Okay. So if they see it up, they like follow you on Instagram, and then that's where it'll be up for sale if it goes up.
Yeah, I'll put it. I always put it there first.
Okay. So, quick facts on Ultimate Wolverine in general. I kind of, now that I looked it up, I think his first appearance was really Hulk 180. Even if it was the last panel, but that was like he took the panel. Like that's him.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my thing with that. I don't disagree from an artist standpoint, but I think it's a futile argument because CGC decides. You could say it's 180 all you want and get that book graded. It's not going to say first appearance of Wolverine on the.
Oh yeah, no, 181 will be like the first cover appearance, and all the other. Like 181 is going to be the big collector. They're both probably big collector issues at this point. It wasn't until because Wolverine came out, like the 70s with Hulk, but it wasn't until like Chris Claremont and I think might have been Frank Miller did that 4-issue series, and that's where I think the line of like I'm the best at what I do and what I do isn't very nice came into play. And that's kind of just stuck with like Wolverine. Like, that's the motto. He's also based on like the anti-heroes of like that time. Like the anti-hero was like very big. He's I guess like the comic book like anti-hero.
Yes.
First Canadian hero too, right?
Oh, is he?
First major maybe.
Okay.
Because he is Canadian.
He is. He's Canadian,
right?
Alberta.
Is it Alberta?
I think this was Wolverine Origins.
It's been a while.
What are some of your favorite Wolverine like stories and runs?
Well, that's one of my questions for later, so I'm going to save that.
I got one right here. I picked this up at Comic-Con. They had the whole collection one year for $30.
Did you play the Wolverine game?
The Nintendo game. Well,
no, there was a PlayStation one.
It was a PlayStation one.
And you start off and you have to break out of the facility as weapon X.
It was based off the movie Wolverine Origins.
Right.
Oh, okay. Was that PlayStation 2 maybe?
I want to say yes.
Yeah, sounds right.
Wolverine Origins, maybe even PlayStation 3.
And after you killed, like you had to do a bunch of stuff. After you killed, like your rage meter would go up, and that's once it was full, you could do kind of some crazy stuff. It was kind of a fun game.
All right. So, no, I have not played that.
PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
Okay.
Barry Windsor Smith, classic run right there. This is where you found out about like his adamantium skeleton and how you found it.
Yeah.
That was a good $30 pickup. Like New York Comic Con had that for $30. I was like, no, I'll do it.
Great pickup.
So yeah, do you guys got any favorite like Wolverine stories or runs?
I mean, Death of Wolverine.
Death of Wolverine?
That was a decent read. I'll be honest. Wasn't my favorite. I'm also. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I thought the Return of Wolverine sucked, but the Death of Wolverine was good.
Yeah, that was a good story. I prefer reading Wolverine in the pages of X-Men.
The X-Men? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, those
Nothing
count for
against him in his own book.
like if he's in it, like that would count. Like I got a favorite
Yeah.
X-Men story.
Yeah. I'm trying to like that. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Yeah, Wolverine is a very iconic superhero. You could probably put him up in the Mount Rushmore of popular Marvel characters of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like the '80s, he really took off and became his own thing.
Yeah, you could almost like he's just outside of the Mount Rushmore of comic book heroes in general.
I don't know how far outside. I mean, honestly,
It's not that far.
I mean, because there are many people that consider him their favorite character, and
Yeah.
the amount of stuff he's involved in.
Yes. Like he's one of the few superheroes that did comic book, cartoons, video games, movies. So,
Yeah,
you know.
we'll give
He's
out
part of-
3 chances to win a duck tonight. I just want to let everybody know, and I chose the first hashtag. I'm going to share it right now, and it is going to be March Madness. Put
Nice.
that in the comments. Put that hashtag in the comments and get your first chance to win a duck. March Madness is happening.
Already been an upset.
Yeah, yup.
It was?
Yeah,
got upset?
McNeese beat Clemson. I watched part of that one.
Wow.
And then I had to run out. They won, but they were up by like 20. I was watching it too.
Wow. Wait, what? Wow. Because everyone kept saying that's the seed that gets upset the most, the 5-12 seed.
5-12 and 13-4 are.
Yeah.
There's been one in every tournament except for like early 2000s for the last like 35 years or something like that.
Reacher guy.
Yeah.
That's why I'm worried. My Michigan team is a 5th seed.
Well, 5 already lost. So
It can happen once. It can happen again.
I'm not saying it can't. Yeah, but you got to look at that. They were probably seated wrongly.
Who, Michigan or
Yeah.
Clemson? Oh, yeah.
No, Michigan.
Yeah. I feel they have.
And how exactly did West Virginia not get in?
Yes. I feel that Michigan got wrongly seeded because they beat Purdue 3 times this season and won the Big Ten championship. And both Purdue and Maryland got higher seeds. Just saying.
Just saying there's a
Your
Michigan
Jim
bias.
says Clemson forgot how to play.
Yes. And before y'all all
That's one
saying,
way of saying it.
before y'all saying, why are we talking about basketball comic books? I'm talking about Michigan Wolverines. That's the correlation.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a very good segue.
Yeah. That's how we do things in here.
Oh,
That's
you know,
why
I had
Sam pays me the big bucks.
now, did you guys read Ultimate Wolverine yet?
I have not. I do have the first issue besides this blank cover. And I also have a couple of variants. But I am still lacking behind.
Okay, Ultimate Wolverine
reading?
is actually very good in the Ultimate Universe. Wolverine is the super soldier, like the
Yes.
Oh, is
Winter
that right?
Soldier. Yeah, the Winter Soldier, if you will.
So, Phil, let me ask you this: where do you rank Ultimate Wolverine in the Ultimate Universe in books?
In books, I probably go something like for the ones I like: Ultimate Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
the Ultimates, it's probably at least as good as Ultimate Black Panther. I'll say that much.
Gotcha.
All right, so because I like Ultimate Black Panther a lot too.
You like Ultimate Black Panther?
Yeah,
Nice. You're one of the few
yeah.
people that actually expressed that.
Honestly,
So,
like the lowest one would be well, it's gonna be the Fill in the Blanks episode 5, Ultimate X-Men. And then, like,
understandable.
yeah, no offense to people, like, all these other books, like even Ultimate Wolverine, it reads like a Wolverine, like it's a Wolverine story.
Yeah.
And well, Black Panther's a Black Panther. Spider-Man is still Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is, I'm looking forward to seeing if you guys are doing. Are you guys gonna draw May Storm or Armor? Who's gonna be here?
I am on the fence on that myself because I'm not even sure which one I want to
Okay.
draw, but I do want to draw one of the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to flick through the book and actually I haven't read it, so I'll have to flick through the book and see who I
Ultimate
fun to
Wolverine,
draw.
very good. I rank it like pretty high as the Ultimate Universe. I got that one. I'm continuing.
I have read Ultimate X-Men. I read it. It's one of the books that I read a lot. It's very good. I love the way Peach writes. I know some people have some qualms with it because it's not a true X-Men story.
I'm so.
But it-
He's talking about me. Yeah.
but
How do you really feel? Don't hold back.
but which I understand is dealing with a lot of C and D list X-Men characters, so I understand why some people are turned off on it. But I'm
Well, didn't she
enjoying it.
gender swap them all too?
No, Armor's not gender swap. Sinister is not gender swap. Mr. Sinister is in his title. Only one May Storm is no gender swap there either.
A lot of the X-Men, this is kind of like, it actually like works for the Ultimate Universe. And I'll give them that too. It does work, like her style and the story she's telling. Because a lot of the X-Men are spread out. Like Wolverine is the Winter Soldier, and he's working for like the Makers Council, and specifically Colossus and Magic.
Yep.
So like Storm's been over in like Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
So, like a lot of the like key X-Men players are already in the Ultimate Universe, in like either a different issue or just like a different role.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is interesting. The first Canadian national superheroes came out a broader issue in 1941. They were called Sylvania, Johnny Carnock, and Canada Jack. Huh.
Mm.
Cool. Golden Age Canadian comic book goodness. Apparently had no idea.
So, are we going to start with the coin?
Yeah.
Segment?
Yeah.
So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first.
All right. Heads or tails, C-Bizzle?
I'm going tails today.
Tails or fails? I'm gonna try and make it land on here. It is tails.
Ooh.
All right. You know I like the tail.
Thanks.
So I'm gonna start with my questions first, and then I'm gonna do a would you rather. My would you rather is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna let you know what it is. We ain't gonna start with it yet, but I'm gonna let you know what it is. The would you rather is gonna be would you rather live in this particular comic book place? Okay, so that's gonna be my would you rather. That's gonna come a little bit later. For the questions, I have 8 questions for you, Green Shirt Guy.
Okay.
All right, so question number 1. How do you feel about comic book adaptation in film and TV? Do you think they can stay true to the source material?
I think they need to stay closer to the source material than they have been. I remember reading an article or seeing an interview around during the Infinity, saga when and Kevin Feige, I think it might have been Kevin Feige, and they were asking him about it. He's like, well, we don't want to go direct translation from the page to the screen. He goes, because you can just read the comic book for that. Well, our goal is to always keep the same essence on the page, from the page to the screen. So yeah, we changed some things, but hopefully we're faithful enough to what the meaning or the feeling you got from that page, and so forth. And I think they did that initially. I think recently they've done some stuff that I'm like, why would you just not just stay with what's on the page? What you're trying is not as good.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That's what I'm hoping that the Fantastic Four does well.
I think I think it's like a little bit hard because it's almost like the Disney remakes, and I told you how for those Disney movies the animation just about jumps off the screen at you, and it could do that with a comic book, and to capture that with a film, and I'm I think about Michael Keaton's Batman and how his suit was just all black. It wasn't what it looked like in the comic. But I think looking back, I'm it might have had to be that way because it might have looked corny on screen when they tried to do it that way.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think it's like a tough thing to follow. But I think that they're more care, especially if you could do something if you're pulling from a specific story. Daredevil, I pointed out, is closer to Mayor Fisk than it is actually Born Again, except they're using the Born Again title because that's the famous Daredevil run. And I don't know, people made arguments, but if you picked Daredevil Born Again for that reason, it's the famous run. So, just call it Mayor Fisk. And then that leaves you to the spot to do Born Again.
Okay, so my question number 2, Prince Guy. Are you more into collected comics for the art, the storytelling, or the investment value?
Oh, it's always the art. Always the art.
Nice.
I mean, storytelling certainly too. But comics, in the way comics are done, is a storytelling vehicle unlike anything else. But it's in my mind, it's because it's visual and reading at the same time. So for me, it's always artwork first, and then I always collect what I like, and then if it becomes valuable, great.
Gotcha.
I actually, for me, I think storytelling, art, and last thing is investment value.
I'm the same way.
Just because, I get them to read. That's the number one thing. I'll get them to read, and if it becomes valuable, great. But like I said, my Ultimate Wonder Woman #1, when I opened up to that center page, the staple the page popped out of the staple.
Oh, jeez.
So I was just oh well, that happens sometimes, and I'm still gonna keep the comic. I enjoyed it. So investment is the last thing.
All right. Question, Jimmy, number 3. What is the most challenging part about being a comic book collector to you?
Ooh. That's a good question.
That's what I'm about.
I mean, obviously, money's always because you're I wish I had more money because I would buy more stuff. Maybe I know it's a weird room. Eventually, you run out of room. You're do I need to keep all this? And that kind of thing. So I guess maybe space. As far as challenging goes.
What about you, Phil?
The most challenging things for a comic book collector, Like the real challenge is finding like the time to like read all my comics. Sometimes it could be like the number one challenge.
Yes.
Well, there's always that.
Like that is like probably like
Oh.
the number one. I know like it's a hobby, so I know like money's there, but I kind of like budget for it, and it's like my hobby money. It's my entertainment money.
Yeah. Same.
Like some people go out to like the bar and spend like the same like on one night at the bar is going to cost what I spend at the comic book.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So
You are not lying.
I think I was the big winner this week, by the way.
oh yeah, you had less than everybody.
35-10.
Nope. Mine is 75.
But now I got like this like a small like stack of like of comics that I definitely want to read and like get to. So I gotta like make some
Right.
time to just sit down and give myself like 4 or 5 hours of uninterrupted and don't lose like concentration or go do something else. And that's sometimes, and that's
Now-
probably like my biggest challenge.
When you
Pace is a little bit.
do you go, okay, I'm gonna read them in this order because I want to read my favorite one first, or do you save your favorite one for last?
I'll read alphabetically.
Okay, I
Oh,
don't
do you
read-
really? Oh, I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
That
By the title.
changes. That changes week to week.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes I do have. If like there is a story that is like my favorite story going on right now, it doesn't even have to be like my favorite hero is Batman and his issue came out. If I'm feeling like, the Punisher or something more, then I'll read like that's going to be like the first one. Usually, sometimes I'll like surprise myself and it's like what I picked up first and like, all right, I haven't like read this in like a month. Let's go back to this.
Yeah.
There's no
Okay.
real order to the madness. Like this week, I've read. What I read first, I read Saga. See, that story I'm really heavily invested in. The next book was Ultimate, the Absolute Batman.
Right on.
Which is not bad. I like that. I like that book. Next question is going to be, where do you typically buy your comic books? Local comic book shop, online retailers, or conventions?
I would say the upper 90% of it I buy from Anthony at that shop. There's still a handful of books that I get from a shop that I used to buy it from online for a few years before I started going to Anthony. So I just cut back significantly, but then some of them are like doubles. Like I still get some Star Wars books from them just because occasionally, but weird things happen with distribution and stuff wouldn't show up, and I'm like, okay, well, I still got it coming because I know I got it coming from this other way.
And what's really cool is you get it if it's a first appearance, you get 2 of them.
Right. And the one coming in the mail is probably pristine because it hasn't been touched by anybody.
Correct.
So yeah, I would say the upper 96-97% is probably. I mean, if I get, well, that's the other thing too. So the one that comes from the stuff that comes online, they only ship them to me once a month. So if I get more than 10, 12 books from them a month, it's a lot, but it might be because like there's a brand new Star Wars #1 and I got all of them.
Gotcha.
But other than that, yeah, the majority of them from Anthony. And then I buy books at cons, but not very many.
Yeah. What about you, Phil? Where do you mostly buy your books from?
Number one spot, also Alternaverse. Just we're there every week to get our new books. So after that, like cons when I get there, I think like the best like out of the cons and the local cons, we have a thing Iacon in November, and they have some of the best deals on like comics that I've seen. And it's a lot of like local dealers and stuff, but they still have like really good deals. And if it's not, then I'm part of like the Ring Swides swap group on Facebook, which is like a claim group. Like people put their books up and you can just claim them. And I found like some really good deals there. Like I got the whole run of like Paper Girls for like $30 there, and
Nice.
like the whole Dragonlance run from like DC was like also $30. They got like good deals, even like single issues and stuff. So those are like my main places.
Okay.
Every once in a while, I'll peek on eBay and like but I haven't done eBay in like a long time now.
I'll buy stuff on eBay, but if I'm looking for something specific that like I'm not going to search around for, I know I'll find it on eBay, but I may pay an extra $1 or $2 type thing.
Yeah, that's what I had to do for Absolute Wonder Woman for last week, over 2 weeks ago. I had to go on eBay because my LCS didn't have it.
In a shop, but not like I didn't pay like $20 for it, but more than I would have liked to, but it worked out. At least I didn't have to draw on that stupid black paper.
True. Next question. Do you prefer physical copies, digital copies, or a mixture of both?
Oh, physical. I will read stuff digitally, but physical.
Okay.
For the most part, physical copies. I do prefer physical copies, although I have no problem reading digital, especially if I'm like laying in bed and something and I picked like my tablet screen size specifically, like a comic book page. I want it the same size as a comic book page.
Right?
I feel you. Yeah.
So and that's why I got like a Galaxy like tablet used on like eBay for like a couple $100 because it was like that size, and I've been rocking that for my digital reader. So like especially like laying in bed at night or something, I definitely don't have a problem with reading digital, but for the most part, I still do like turning the page.
Now, when you read it digitally, do you do the full page or you do it panel by panel?
I do it I do the full page. I view it the full page. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, where they give you one panel at a time.
Yeah. No, I do the full page, so it's almost just like having like the book there, except it's on the screen.
Right on.
I do it panel to panel.
I kind of depends on what I'm reading, but I almost do both.
All right. So next question is, we only got 3 more. How do you decide which comic books to buy? Do you follow certain series, creators, or genres? Genre. It's a genre.
So I always buy Batman.
Okay.
But there's certain Batman books I don't buy. I don't buy all of them because like I look at them like that's a money grab. I always buy Batman. I always buy Pepe Larraz because he's my favorite artist. So him and Capullo, if whatever they're doing, I probably will buy.
Yeah, I agree.
And then it's funny because I buy, if I buy 12 books on a given week, probably 5 to 6 of them are independent or Image. So yeah.
What about you, Phil?
Okay, hold on. Say that whole question again.
Sure. How do you decide to buy comic books? Do you follow certain series, creators, or genre?
The answer is like almost like yes to all of that. How do I? It's usually just about what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can't judge a comic book by its cover. That's one of the mediums that you can kind of do that with.
And probably should.
Yeah. But like sometimes genre like plays a role into it. Mostly it's like what I'm interested in. Like I know I'm a Batman person, so I love Batman, so I'm gonna get Batman and Detective. And I've even been getting some of those offshoots like Catwoman and Poison Ivy lately.
Okay.
So it's usually just it's a mixture of all 3. I think is a factor for me.
Gotcha. I'm similar. I buy certain creators that I really like Daniel Warren Johnson. I will buy a lot of his stuff because I like the way he writes and the grittiness of his drawing. He really puts a lot of emotion in his writing, so I really like reading his stuff. I love looking at Jamal Campbell's artwork. I like Sanford Green's artwork, what Grisha guy Pepe Larraza. Love his artwork. That's like a driving force to me, just to get me into the door. But the store is going to keep me to buying the comic books more often. So that's where I go with that. Um, so number 7, the second to last question.
I
Do
wanted to say, shout out to Space Case Collectibles. I'm in the middle of sorting my comic collection. Wish me luck. Good luck, Space
Good
Case.
luck.
Yeah.
I'm doing
How are
mine.
you? How are you sorting it? Are you sorting it by genre, by publisher, by
genre?
title? You know, like
I go.
It's a genre.
It's almost like I'd put together the runs that, like, and I haven't done this in a while, but I'd put together the runs of stuff I'd like that I know I'm going to keep. Like, I know I love the Deviant, so I know I'm going to keep all those issues. Like,
I am actually sorting my comic book collection, all 11,000 plus, next weekend.
okay.
I was waiting for you to say you were doing it, and I think if you were about to say you do it chronologically, I was going to drive to Detroit or to Texas and punch you in the face.
No.
Complete chronological order. I'm like, no.
Space Case says titles, then by number. That's probably how to do it.
So I have 5 long boxes at the top of my stack. Those books that I'm currently reading, the current titles I'm reading, all the other books are books I've already read. They are in alphabetical order, and they are already separated by publisher with stickers on them, so I know which sticker is which. I got red for Marvel, blue for DC, and yellow for Independent. And they already stacked in the boxes, so it's gonna be real easy for me. So I'm just basically trying to. I'm actively collecting X Factor Volume 1, so I'm only missing like maybe 4 issues, but they all spread out in different boxes. So I want to bring them all together and get an accurate account of what I have for X Factor, so that way I know when I go to some other comic book stores, I have the right one.
Well, you just use the COZ app.
Oh, that's what I use. It's the
That's what I'm
greatest
saying.
app in the
No,
history of apps.
Without question.
Like, argue with your mama. I don't care what nobody says. That's the hill I would die on.
Mhm.
CLZ app is the greatest app on my
Fight
phone. Yes, I will fight you on that hill, and I was willing to die on that hill after I fight you. So, my second to last question, Grisha God, do you often pre-order comics, or do you just prefer to pick them up when they are released?
So
I'm real big on this, by the way.
What's that?
I said I'm real big on this.
So I almost never pre-order. The only things I pre-order are the ones that come from that online store, because they make me put stuff in before the cutoff at the end of the month. Other than that, I know for the most part titles that I get week to week that that's out this week, and that kind of thing. So, but thanks to Steve, I don't have to sit there and figure it out. I go on and I go, okay, I need this one, this one, this one. He's like, yep, you're good. I'm like, okay. So no, I often don't order ahead of time.
What about you, Phil?
I don't usually pre-order. It's usually we give our orders to Steve, and I usually get mine in Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning around 10 or 11 o'clock.
Yep.
I think there's like a hardcover graphic novel that I'm trying to actually pre-order to make sure it gets out. So.
Now, do y'all guys and this is just a side question, but this is not the final question. This is a side question. For y'all guys
Final question.
I hate that song, by the way. Only because the Chicago Bulls used it during their championship run.
Why are you gonna hate on my Bulls? Why can't we just?
I do not like the Bulls whatsoever.
All right. Because you guys had to be bitches and leave when we beat you.
No, I was gonna cuss too, but don't get me started, Grisha. The amount of hate I have for the Chicago Bulls, ooh baby, and Michael Jordan, but do y'all guys have a pull list that Steve have for y'all every week that y'all get, like that y'all
I
have.
used to
Yeah.
way back when, but that's kind of gone by the wayside because it just has. Like Steve knows me at this point, so like he knows that I get everything Star Wars, and there's certain
Okay.
things he knows I get. So if I forget to put it on my little text that I send him, he'll pull it for me. Like, you get this, don't you? I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh man.
Yeah, Steve's good that way.
So that's what he means that he's slave to the man. You're
Yo.
the man.
Well, no, he works for I won't say who because I don't get him in trouble. He works for a large company. He doesn't like it.
Oh, okay, I got you. What about you, Phil? Do you got to pull us at Turniverse?
No, it's usually like we usually just message Steve. Like,
Okay.
pull me these books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So my last question, and I followed this before with you guys, and I know some of y'all follow this with me before as well. Do you ever buy comic book based on the recommendation of friends or online communities?
Online community, never. I don't.
Friends?
Friends, yes.
Okay. I have done that before too.
I've
with you
had
guys.
walked in and Steve has gone, hey, what about this one? I'm like, I looked at that. Let me look at it again. And then, or so-and-so's like, hey, this is really good. You should get it. And then, I remember a book that Image put out. I don't know if you read it. It was called Black Road. It was like a Viking comic.
I've heard of it.
My brother's like, you should read this. And so I think the first one had just come out. When I was there, the second one was out. So I was like, oh, I can probably still get the first one. So I went back and got it. And I was like, oh, this is actually really good. So then I finished it. But yeah. So yeah, more recommendations of friends. Never online because I don't get down with that stuff. I don't have time in my life to worry about what people online think. To be perfectly honest with you. And that's not disparaging people watching this show right now. I live my life.
He don't like y'all. I'm just joking.
No, it's not that I don't like people. I can't let that affect my day to day.
Got you. What about you, Phil? Do you ever buy comic books based on recommendation from your friends or online communities?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually do.
Nice.
Like if there's a good recommendation, I'll usually give it like the college try, I guess. And so definitely.
Like I appreciate you guys. One of the books I told y'all guys to read was The Moon is Following Us by Daniel Warren Johnson. And y'all did read it. So I really appreciate you guys.
Yep. Like yeah, because you do get exposed to stuff like you might have like missed out and stuff. Like so it's definitely good. So before we do
and that's the end of my questions.
Okay. We're gonna draw a duck before we do your questions, green shirt guy.
Oh, that's fun.
That duck.
Yeah.
Lay duck.
So I'll give you 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Get it in before the buzzer. 5, 4, 3, 2,
She said,
1. And draw.
Phil don't be playing. When he counts down, he counts down.
Oh,
hey,
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn's in the house.
Right on. Didn't he win the other night as well?
Yes. Uh-oh. Should I be worried about your questions?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, Lord. I was nice to you with mine.
I didn't go crazy,
Oh, Lord.
but I was.
I'm worried. I am worried.
You should be.
Our next hashtag comes from C-Bizzle. It's nice and easy. It is Logan.
See how nice I am to y'all? Super easy, super nice.
He's trying to get you to like him, so you give him stuff.
That is absolutely absurdly true.
Logan in the chat. So,
If anybody in the chat want to send me stuff, I will give you my address. Don't worry about it.
Was that was the name of the movie, like the really good Wolverine movie, right? Logan.
Yes.
But
Yes.
that one was phenomenal. That
Yes.
one.
Yeah, because that's the one that's referenced at the beginning of the last Deadpool movie.
Yeah. Yup.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because there was also like there was a Wolverine movie that was pretty good with Silver Samurai at the beginning, and like a lot of that stuff. They actually did pull a lot of that stuff from the
one in
comics.
Japan? Oh, I did not like that movie.
No,
You did not like that?
No.
that one was. I thought that was good because that came where a lot of that came out of like the Frank Miller Wolverine run.
Who was the director of that movie? I might change my directors. Just to watch it again.
I thought that one was good. I never saw Wolverine Origins, to be totally honest.
You don't need to. It's bad.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and I like, Wolverine was one of like my dudes, so like, I'm just not gonna let him like destroy my guy. But
The main bad part of that film is just Deadpool.
Well, and it opens up, right? This is back when Fox had control over it, so it opens up in New Orleans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they just invent like three X-Men for no reason. Like Will.i.am is an X-Men that you've never heard of before or since. Like, why couldn't you use a real one? Like, you're in New Orleans. You couldn't put Gambit in there? What are we doing?
Was he in there? I thought he was in there.
No! They teased someone similar to him, but it's definitely not him.
Oh, I thought he had cards and everything.
No, if I remember correctly. He's not.
Well, the funny enough, the director of that Wolverine movie.
that was called like the Wolverine, right?
Yeah, the Wolverine.
Yeah.
The director of that movie also directed Logan.
Okay.
is that right?
Mango. Yeah, James
those
Mango.
two were actually like really good. Those two
Yeah.
were like some of the. They might have been
Also-
like the best of the 20th century.
I mean,
He also
Origins-
directed. He also directed 310 to Yuma.
That's a great
Okay.
movie. Did you watch that? I told you to watch that, right?
You told me to watch that, and that's why I mentioned names. So I might have to change my directors. I'm really not. I'm gonna keep my directors the same. All right, Grinch guy.
All right.
Your questions. I'm gonna be afraid.
Phil kind of stole my thunder, but what do you think the best X-Men story is from the last 5 to 10 years?
The best X-Men story or best Wolverine story?
X-Men story.
Best X-Men story?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so this might not be the best for everybody. To me, I feel that it is underrated. I enjoy this. I got the trade paperback, and I'm slowly getting the floppies for it. It's an event called the Extinction Agenda event.
Oh, I know that.
really-
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
That one's that's a little bit older than 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know it's the 90s, but I feel like people should know about
It's
it.
like 30 years old now.
Yeah. But if you want to talk about more recent, it's gonna be HOX and POX.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the best thing.
Oh,
that,
like was that House of X?
yeah, Power of 10.
Okay.
Or you could say, Power of X. Either or will work. But yeah, that is outside of my Extinction Agenda or Inferno. That is the best X-Men story in the last few years.
I think the fall of the Hell House of X.
Yeah.
The end of that Krakoa, it with like the Sons
The
of
Hellfire
Sinister
Club.
or whatever. Yeah, the Hellfire
Yeah.
Club. That whole like pretty
Yeah.
much run. Yeah, even that like Mr. Sinister stuff with like Storm
Mm-hmm.
was pretty great.
I agree.
Like probably like a couple years old now. Probably a couple years ago. That Hellfire Gala issue. I remember reading like that Tuesday night. It was just like I messaged in the chat like, "Oh my god, you guys got to read the Hellfire Gala."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I liked X of Swords.
Really?
Yeah, I really
That was
You
that
one
was
of the
pretty
few
good.
people that actually said that.
I
like
thought
the
that was
story a
really
lot.
That's the one where they have like the competition.
Yes.
And there's a cool part with Wolverine and Storm, and they have a drinking like battle.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
And they got to go over to the other realm and
Yes.
more or less fight Apocalypse again. I really like that story. And the artwork's phenomenal for the whole thing.
Yes, I agree. So a lot of like when that first came out, a lot of people did not like it.
Yeah, well, they're wrong.
I agree.
Okay. I know this is a Wolverine book we're doing, and we're doing X-Men next week, but still, you can pick any 5 X-Men to make your team. Who are they?
Right off the bat, I'm going with Colossus and Storm.
Okay.
Storm is my leader. I'm going to need a telepath, so I'm going with Rachel Summers.
Okay.
Already got my heavy hitter with Colossus. I'm going to need a member on the team that has a good conscience and keep everybody leveled. So that's Nightcrawler. And also, strange enough, I'm going to go. I like a wild card on the team. I'm gonna go with what's his name? Phantom X.
Okay.
Yes, those are my 5.
Who you got, Phil?
Probably Storm.
Mm-hmm. That's my
Magic.
Okay.
Wolverine. Jean Grey.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, Nightcrawler. Yeah, it was a battle between like Nightcrawler and Kitty Pryde, and I think I would take Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Right on. All right. So mine is in my first one is my leader, Havoc.
Mm-hmm.
Nightcrawler.
Love Havoc.
Wolverine, Psylocke, and Angel.
Wait, what's your last one?
Angel.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wait, which Angel?
Maybe Archangel.
Okay, thank you.
you.
No offense to everybody fans of Angel. I never really cared too much for that character until he became Archangel.
Fair. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
JSS Brooklyn remembers the Extinction event. That was something else.
Yes.
It's just Brian LCS, FYI, CBC Awards now have a YouTube channel of their own.
Nice.
YouTube.com/@CBC_awards.
Nice.
Go ahead, Brian. Put a couple of my videos on there because
Yeah, right.
we cool like that.
You can go ahead and nominate us already.
Yeah. Give us multiple awards. We
Yeah.
deserve it.
Okay, so ready? Ink it or erase it.
Okay.
NCAA bracket pools.
I'm going to ink it for everybody else, but I'm going to erase it for myself because I never get it right. Either by the time the Final Four happens, either I have one team in there or none at all.
I would ink it, and it's funny that it's ink it or erase it, even though this year I did not fill out a bracket.
I didn't either.
I didn't do one either.
And I don't really, now that I think about it, the question is NCAA bracket pools. So I've never really done like bracket pools like that. Maybe I've like bet with like, my roommate at the time once or twice, but
yeah.
I used to do one every year with my one roommate. Well, I did a couple with work and whatever, but my one roommate and I would do one every year, and the winner would buy the other one lunch.
okay.
So
That's
I was like,
smart.
all right.
Yeah. Nothing like crazy. Nothing to like.
Yeah,
Drop your
we should
bank
get Burger
account.
King with that.
Yeah, right. All right, ink it or erase it. Paper straws.
Erase it.
Correct.
Erase it. Why do they exist? Paper straws?
So stupid.
Get that out of here.
You ever
It
get one
save
at
the
a fast food
environment. You can
restaurant?
do it something else. Not paper straws. I
You ever
don't like
get
Yeah,
one
the
at a fast food restaurant?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, you just put a time limit on my drink.
Right?
The first one I got was it was kind of weird. I was in Bermuda, and that was the first
Is that
time I got
right?
yeah, and I got a paper straw, and it did not bother me. I was like, all right,
Hmm.
I was definitely getting like a drink or something. So
I remember, I can't remember, and this might have been one of the last times that I got one recently. I was in Albany for a state meeting for soccer. And I was like, all right, well, I got to get something to eat on the way home. It was like the meeting was early in the day, and then I'm driving back. I'm like, let me get some. So I pull in order my food. They hand me my drink, hand me my food. She's like, oh, I forgot to give you a straw. Hands me this paper straw. I'm like, great. So that means I basically have to suck this drink down because this straw is going to be wasteless. You worthless in about 30 seconds.
Exactly.
All right. Only because I've been watching it and I'm finally caught up. Ink it or erase it. Severance on Apple TV.
I'm going to just ink it for everybody else. I don't have Apple TV, so I've never seen the show. So I'm just going to ink it for everybody else.
that is a definite ink it. That is, I am tomorrow is like can't come quick enough.
Right?
Almost.
Is it now? Is it released early in the morning, or is it an evening one like Disney Plus?
I don't know. It'll be early in the morning. I don't know like when, how early or what time or stuff, but
Because usually with Apple TV, I usually catch stuff, after it's been on for 3 or 4 episodes, and I'm, whatever. But now I'm like, oh, now I'm caught up. I want to see what happens.
it's gonna be like a 74-minute episode or something.
Oh, is that right? Sweet.
Yeah, we're getting like a longer episode tomorrow. That's a definite. Like I took a chance with that show. Like, yeah, I might like it, and I got hooked so quick.
It is so good. I just, I was sick last weekend, so I'm like, all right, well, what better time to watch something I was thinking about watching anyway? I'll put the first 1 or 2 on, and if I don't like this, I can, whatever. Laying on the couch anyway. And I'm like, oh, this is really good. And then you get up halfway through the season, you're like, oh, this is really good. So yeah. All right, ink it or erase it. The drink, Arnold Palmer.
Oh, ink it. Ink
Hell
it.
yeah.
So tough. Like, what? Yes. Tea and lemonade.
Hell yeah.
Ink that, boy. I would get
So-
that.
Now, do you make them yourself at home, or do you buy it already made?
I'll buy it already made. I probably can make it at home. Because Arnold Palmer is very close to a Long Island iced tea to me.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. That's how I correlated with it. Just to say that my favorite drink when I go out is a Long Island iced tea.
So you like to buy all the liquors?
Man, like, yes. Yes. That's every time I go out. If I go out socializing, that's what I ask for. I'll say Long Island iced tea, and I never knew why until I got older. Why people always give me strange looks, like,
Because it's all liquor.
yeah,
I haven't had one in a long time.
I haven't had one
yeah.
in forever either. I remember on my 21st, I was ordering them, and the bartender goes, you want to try something else? Not like, I'll stop making these. I'm like, I looked at him, he goes, I got this other one. It's called, I think it was New Orleans iced tea. It's basically the same thing, but they put Chambord in it, so it tastes like a raspberry iced tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was good. And then I had to be carried out of the market.
Yeah, I was on this boat in Detroit. They had this thing called the Detroit Princess. It's a boat that goes, sails around the Great Lakes. And when I got on the boat, the first thing I asked for is a Long Island iced tea, and he gave me a Strong Island iced tea.
Yeah.
He was heavy-handed, and I had like 2 of them. and my stomach was not happy until I got some food, and because the sway of the bowl and all that liquor in my stomach. And that was the first that I didn't eat before that until I got there.
That's
And after a couple of drinks, so I did a rookie mistake. So yeah,
I will
but
say
I love
this.
Arnold Palmer's as well.
With Arnold Palmer's, I've been making them. I will buy stuff at Stewart's, and green tea and lemonade. Woo, that is
That's
good
good.
stuff.
I never
Yeah.
tried with green
There's
tea.
ice
Stewart's
green
teas
tea.
The Stewart's teas are, just in general, they are very good.
Mm.
Their regular iced tea and their green tea, both very good.
So that's how I make mine. Yeah, I go like half and half green tea and then lemonade.
Okay.
All right, so the final one, we kind of teased this earlier. It's funny because Phil and I must be on the same wavelength. Ink It or Erase It, Disney cartoons remade into live action movies.
I'm going to erase it because, I mean, you enjoy them, you enjoy them. I have not really watched them. But from what I'm seeing in trailers and things of that nature, I'm good on that. I'm a very nostalgic person. So I'd rather just watch the cartoon and then, every time I watch something like that, hear the music, hear all the great songs that comes out of there, and then it takes me back in the time when I was younger, and seeing family members that's no longer here, and
Yeah.
didn't have to worry about student loans and all these other bills. So yeah.
True that.
What about you, Phil?
I would also erase them for the most part. I don't think they've done a really good job with any of them, to be honest. That has
Yeah.
this is so much better than what we saw originally.
Yeah.
I mean, not even just not better. In most cases, I would take just as good. But you're like, this is a step down. Like, why not just watch the original?
Yeah.
All
Is
right,
that your all your inks and erasers?
that's all the ink. I try to do 5. Sometimes I have 6, but only 5 this week.
Okay.
Let's see here. Would you rather laugh like a hyena during serious meetings, or hiccup like a cartoon during romantic moments?
Oh, hiccup during romantic moments.
Okay.
I ain't about to mess up my money.
Let's see.
I'll be get kicked out of meetings because I'm laughing like I'm part of a Harley Quinn's crew. Nah, I'm good.
Would you rather experience cotton candy rain or jelly bean hail?
Jelly bean hail. I love jelly beans. Oh, do I love jelly beans. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go pick up some this weekend.
Right on.
Oh, I know it probably will hurt more, but with cotton candy rain, it would be so sticky.
I gotta tell you, they'd both be sticky, right?
Yeah, they would, but at least with like jelly beans, they'll bounce off of you.
Okay.
Whereas cotton candy would just sit on you and become sticky.
Okay. I'm just thinking walking around on jelly beans all over the place and just the mash on the ground.
Yeah. They wouldn't be on the ground. We're catching them and eating them.
Okay.
They won't even reach the ground.
So this one is a little bit longer, so I'll try and explain it after I give it to you. Would you rather give up music, except one song, or movies, except one movie or TV show? TV show episode, mind you. So when you give up music, that means the only time you can only hear one song ever. So like if you turn on the radio, it's only one song ever. Doesn't matter what station you're on, it's only that one song. if there's music in a movie or TV show, it becomes that song in whatever movie or TV show for everything. Or vice versa. So you can listen to whatever music you want, but whenever you turn the TV on, it's always that TV show or that movie, and that's it. If you go to the theater, it's only that movie or that TV show.
Some people are not going to like me when I say this, but I'm definitely giving up movies. I love music. Yeah,
I agree. I would definitely give up movies.
Yeah. The only reason I say that, my father was a musician, and music was always in our house. I love music. Music brings me, like I said before, with Disney movies, the music in the movies bring a certain nostalgia for me of where I was. There's music that I remember if I listen to, remind me of the time a girl broke my heart. A music I would listen to would be the time when my mother, God rest her soul, will play on a Saturday, and I knew that means we got to get up and clean the house, things of that nature. So music's been a part of my life deeply my whole life. Movies, I love movies. Nothing against movies. It's just that music means more to me than movies.
Right on. I don't know if I have an answer. I'll have to think about it.
It's a tough one. It is a tough one.
Yeah, I would keep music.
Yeah. I use music for anything. Like when I'm cooking, I'm listening to music. When I'm cleaning, I'm listening to music. Strange enough, I don't listen to music when I read comic books.
No, not you. Not really. Like sometimes I do, but it's usually like maybe it's like a jazz record or the like the lo-fi channel, that girl studying and stuff.
Yeah. You know what I do when I read comic books? You know what I actually have as background noise?
What?
This is gonna be strange. Do not judge me, okay? On YouTube, there's an actual YouTube channel of they doing glass blowing, and I will put that on, and they just like the monotone of their voice, and it's not distracting me from reading the comic book. So I'll have that on, and I will look up every little once in a while, see this immaculate art created by just glass, and I will watch that while I'm reading comic books.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Still judging you, but it's fine.
It's cool. I like glass blowing. Pause.
I like make it beautiful gold.
Is that all your?
I think that's everything I have. All right. So.
All right.
Yeah. Let's do a hashtag.
Okay. Well, let's go through some announcements first. Like Alternaverse Comics is located at 870 Violet Avenue, Hyde Park, New York. Call Anthony at 845-233-4234. Get on his pull list. 10% off your weekly comics when you get on the pull list. Card tournaments on the weekend, like Lorcana. What else we got? Cliff on Comics. Definitely subscribe to our good buddy Cliff. Cliff on Comics on YouTube. He's doing well. He's at over 1,000 subscribers. He has a lot of great content. Coffee and Comics with Cliff. That is all Cliff. Our channel, the Council of Comics. Subscribe, like, comment, subscribe on us. We got new keys and hot comics of the week, new comic book day live, and film and box office news on Sunday nights. And of course, Couching and Sousting with C-Bizzle. Tell them about it, C-Bizzle.
Hey guys, so as y'all can see, I am finally over the 500 mark on my channel. I want to thank everybody that have been liking and subscribing to my channel. There will be a giveaway. I have not done a 400 subscriber giveaway, so I am going to do a 400 or 500 subscriber giveaway pretty soon. I'm just waiting. I can't tell you yet. I have the good news is I have all the prizes already. I preemptively purchased the prizes, so I already have the prizes. I just have to There's a couple of other giveaways that we've done in the past month. I want to get those shipped out first before I do another giveaway. So there will be a giveaway coming up fairly soon. It's going to be 2 winners, one for the 400, one for the 500 giveaway. So you guys can check me out here with the console comics. I gotta find out when's my anniversary with you guys, because I feel
I
that's
looked it
very
up at
special.
one point. I just can't remember what it is now.
Yeah. And I'm here every Sunday with Film Box Office and News. On Mondays with New Keys and Hot Comics. I think I said that right. Could be the other way around. For New Comic Book Day, and also as you can see here today on every other Thursday for Fill in the Blanks. Almost at the other show, and I'm not going to mess up this time. Fill in the Blanks here with my good buddy Grincher Guy with our rotating host. And side note, I want to thank Phil for being an awesome host today. You're doing an excellent job, sir.
Indeed.
Not a problem. But you can catch me there, and with these guys, make sure you go to Clip on Comics and the Console Comics. Go to their channels, watch their videos, and hit the like button and comment on the videos. And I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, C-Bizzle. All right, hashtag Logan. Put that down in the comments. You got 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and draw. Round and round.
Why should be Brooklyn again?
Yeah. Wolf.
Oh, Ron Hubbard.
There we go.
There we go.
His birthday was just recently too, wasn't it?
I believe so, yes.
It was. Ron Hubbard, you have got yourself a duck. And give me 1 second.
It's because March birthdays are the best ones.
Except when it's January.
Nah, it's not.
We start off the year right with January birthdays.
We'll move right past it.
Only time it sucks when your birthday's in January, when you live in a cold weather state, you can't have a birthday party outside.
Oh, I've never had a birthday party outside. Mine's in March. I've never had one outside, ever. Never.
I'd be jealous of those June babies.
Yeah.
The next comment is coming from Green Shirt Guys. Nick.
Okay.
All right, so Wolverine's greatest villain is
it's going to be his easy question. It's going to be Sabretooth.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I would say Sabretooth is probably like that is definitely his villain. Omega Red is like high on my list.
Yeah. I would also say that Sabretooth is my favorite villain of all time.
Really?
Yes.
I think Sabretooth's his greatest because it's like he's fighting himself.
Yes.
It's like what he could have been too.
Yes. I agree.
What Wolverine's greatest weakness is?
Relying too much on his healing factor.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, his biggest weakness is he's such like the loner. Like I could kind of almost see that being like he's very much a loner type of person.
Yeah. What's funny to me though, he's been on more teams than Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. I also think mine is he is a loner, but I think a lot of times he plays that up and he's not as much of a loner as he says that he is, because he wants to be one, but he never truly allows himself to be one. He cares what people think, even though he won't admit it.
Yeah.
His greatest strength is
sheer determination. Like he knows and his confidence. He knows that he's the best at what he does.
Yeah,
Make sure
what he does
no.
isn't very nice.
What he
Yeah.
does isn't very nice. Now, would you rather have adamantium or vibranium?
As my skeleton, or
Well, I mean, here's the thing: like, which one's stronger, right?
yeah,
True. I'm gonna go with vibranium.
I was watching something recently, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I was watching. We were watching Wakanda Forever last week. I was like, oh, I haven't watched this forever, so I put it on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
And there's a scene in it where Okoye is fighting not Namor, but his lieutenants on the bridge,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and they all have vibranium, right?
Mhm.
They're all fighting with vibranium, and she
Mhm.
cuts something in half. I'm like, well, wait a minute, vibranium can cut vibranium? Like, how does that work? You shouldn't have just gone ping and then just whatever.
I think that's how it works. I don't know.
But yeah, she cut whatever he had, like cut the end of it off. I'm like, ah! I don't really think that's how that's supposed to work. But whatever.
we got some
Yeah.
covers. Everybody
Yeah,
picked
we
them.
never did our covers.
Yeah, I got these in no particular order. So if you see your cover and want to talk about it, and I threw some extras in here. I did more than
That's
I had a
That's my
couple others,
cover.
but I decided
that's your cover.
yeah, that's my cover. I picked it because it's just so messed up. Like, I'm trying to remember whose hand is that, but just going the fact that it's going to both of his eyes.
Yeah,
just
there's
melted
no
his eyeball
adamantium
away.
skeleton there.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Now, every book I
There's,
pick is in my collection. I just want to
oh, okay.
like doing that. Yeah.
Oh no, I have a few that are not in my collection.
So would you say that if that came up in the movers and shakers, you would buy that one over other things?
Oh, is this in your collection, Green Circle? I noticed that it was signed.
No, I couldn't find just because a lot of times I just go on Google Images and look for the one I'm looking for.
Okay.
For whatever reason, this is the cleanest one. The other ones were like, because it's a lenticular cover.
Yeah.
It was all shiny. You couldn't see the image. So I have this and I have it signed, but this one's not mine.
Right.
What you should have done is go to CLZ, and you could bring it up that way.
Sometimes it doesn't always.
True.
I know what you're saying, but yeah, I
True.
probably
You're
could've.
right.
I did.
You're right. Yeah.
In this story, this is probably my favorite of the covers.
Okay.
Let's see why.
Well, yeah, because I think one of my other ones is definitely Wolverine as well. But
Yeah.
This cover's great.
Very cool cover.
Absolutely.
That one's mine too.
Okay.
Classic,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's classic. Yeah.
pretty classic. Shows you the true size of Wolverine too.
Yes.
Yeah, when you compare him next to like Hulk, Mr. Fix-It.
Oh, you mean he's not 6'2" like
Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman?
Nah. I don't know any 5'3" guy could play Wolverine right now. He probably does exist, but he's never acted.
Well, there's not a whole lot of 5'3" actors too. So
Yeah.
Really good.
Maybe do Peter Dinklage.
yeah, right. Oh, this one's mine too. This is from that run. This is a McNiven, or not McNiven, Ed McGuinness cover actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I have this book signed, and it's signed 4 times. It's
Wow.
signed by Soul,
Uh-huh.
who wrote the story. It's signed by McNiven, who did the pencils. It's signed by McGuinness, who did this cover, and it's signed by the inker, and I can't remember who the inker is on the inside of the book. So yeah, it's signed 4 times, and it's a 9/8. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
This is yours, right, C-Bizzle?
Yes, that is one of the I wanted to pick a classic cover between Wolverine and Sabretooth, and I actually have this book. First, I didn't think I did, but then I did check my collection. I have it. Always like the battle between Wolverine and Sabretooth, so I wanted to pick a cover that has it. There's another one I just couldn't find on the CLZ app. I have it. I just didn't go. I have so many different volumes of Wolverine. Excuse me, and I just want to pick something classic, a classic battle between those. basically the two greatest. You can put them up there as the two greatest arch enemies. So that's why I picked that one.
What was that story that was going on right before they reset the X-Men universe? It was like, it wasn't Death of X-Men, but it was something like that where everything was coming to a head. And I can't remember if it was him. No, it couldn't have been him because they put him in the tree. There was another villain that they chopped their head off and threw it into another dimension and closed the portal. I was like, whoa, that was brutal.
That sounds brutal.
I was like, okay, we're not messing around in this book.
This is also my cover as well. This is the most recent. No, it's not. It's the second most recent Wolverine run. The main reason I picked it because I'm a huge Black Panther fan, and to have Wolverine and Black Panther on the cover together, I'm going to pick this. And it was a good issue too. I read it.
This was a good story because he worked with like Black Panther. He worked with several heroes. This was around the time that like Beast went kind of crazy on the X-Men.
Yeah. Yep. So that's why I picked it. I like this cover.
He had his friend like Bannister, and he was writing like the letter to Bannister as he was doing it because he worked with like Black Panther, so a few others. He's like, it was a very good issue. I recognized the cover.
Yep.
Oh, I picked Weapon X. I picked that.
Yes.
Barry Windsor Smith. It's a classic story. You found out how he got his adamantium skeleton. It's a bit of a rough read, and like it was only like part of the comic, but good stuff, especially toward the end, because he kind of clears that station out. Oh,
that's classic. That one.
Yeah, that's that I have. Wolverine getting blasted by a Sentinel. No, that's Days of Future Past Part 2.
Yep.
That's actually more than like he's on the covers of these issues, but it's more of a Kitty Pryde story.
Yes.
Wolverine.
The movie tried to make
it
like Wolverine that did it, but we all know it's Kitty Pryde.
Well, I got the reason. Like it's Hugh Jackman. Like
yeah.
Hugh Jackman's gonna sell the tickets to girls and guys. There's that classic cover. I got a better copy of it.
Nice.
That also.
That's a great cover right there. Is it Kubert?
Yeah. Do I have that one? I gotta check my CLZ app. The greatest app of all apps.
Who does Wolverine 27? Where's the cover? I'm not sure if it was Kubert.
I'm trying to find out. I think I might have that. Oh, I forgot. W goes before X.
You know what's crazy about this cover too? Because I've drawn some stuff recently, and you can cheat a little bit when you use an iPad because you can mirror stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't mirrored, but look how like symmetrical the upper body looks.
Yeah, is that Jim Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, it might be. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Back when he was still good.
It is good, okay? All right?
He can be sometimes.
We're not going to get into this. I'm going to call Sam.
Call him.
Also, classic cover right there.
You ain't gonna, I'm not afraid. Call him.
That's
good. I was going to pick that one, actually.
Yeah.
I got that book before it became cool.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody chose the X-Men #1 with Wolverine on it.
Yeah, you can say that's the ultimate classic.
I have 2 of this book.
That's like one of our first like shots of maybe like Old Man Logan, right?
Yeah.
Like like Old Man Logan.
Got the what I call the Reed Richards hairstyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stripes.
The Paulie Walnuts.
Yeah, yeah. Is that a Sopranos reference?
Yes, it is.
See, this is why we're good friends.
Of course, man. I was thinking about rewatching that recently.
Yeah.
I want to get through a few other things first, but I think I'm gonna go back and rewatch it. It's been years. Plus, they have a version of it on HBO Max now, where you can watch it with Chrissy and what's the Bobby Bacala. It's those two guys are doing the are talking over it while the episodes are going.
Oh,
on.
doing a commentary.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm like, that might be worth watching just to listen to them talk.
Give me 2 seconds. And
So what are we doing next? We're doing X-Men next time.
Yes.
I might actually have to read.
Now,
that
do you
book
want
so
me?
I know
Do you want?
what to
Do
draw.
you want me to do my? Do you want me to do my Would You Rather's, or you want me to save it for next week?
Oh, we can do them now. Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right, my comic book peoples. So this is gonna be Would You Rather comic book places to live. The first one is always gonna be the first one. Would you rather live in Gotham City or in Metropolis?
Oh, Metropolis. And I'm a Batman guy, but Gotham City is like no. Like Metropolis, at least bad things happen, but it seems generally fairly safe. Whereas
Yeah.
Gotham, even during the day, is not a good place to live.
What about you, Phil?
Yeah, a bit about Metropolis is constantly getting like annihilated.
I grant you there are like world-ending events, but like you can still live your life. Whereas Gotham,
Yeah.
like the city takes you on before anything else.
I think give me Gotham. Just give me Gotham. I
Okay.
think it's like
You're adventurous, I'll give it to you.
I'll be a little bit adventurous and just give me Gotham.
Would you rather live in Wakanda or live in Asgard? Keep in mind, Asgard has Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Granted, several hundreds or thousands of years in between, but still.
I think I'll go Wakanda.
I think I would go with Wakanda.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the one not black guy in there, but that's okay.
I know. I was gonna say, like, I am going to stick out in Wakanda.
Hey, you just be like the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, right?
Okay. Would you rather? I only got
I'd be the tourist attraction. That's all.
I only got 3 more. Would you rather live in an X mansion or the Avengers Tower?
I think the X Mansion. I like the aesthetic of the X Mansion.
Phil?
Yeah, I think the X Mansion, because you are on like the Westchester countryside.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that a thing?
Yeah. Right? When I just like all the wood paneling inside that thing, it just looks really cool.
So that really works for like the rest of the country that doesn't really know Westchester too well.
Right. Well, that's like when you watch these shows and people are talking about the traffic in LA and you got to do this. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Now, would you rather, and I'm going to I got to put a stipulation on this. Would you rather live in Themyscira or Atlantis? If you pick Atlantis, you will have the ability to breathe underwater.
Oh, Atlantis.
Really, Grisha guy?
Yeah, well, I'm a guy.
I only got one thing. I only got one thing to say to you. I would pick Themyscira because death by snoo snoo.
By what now?
Death by snoo snoo.
Yeah, but like they don't do that there. They're Amazons.
They do that there. In one comic, one variation of Wonder Woman.
All right. I don't know.
Yeah. What about you, Phil?
Yeah, give me Themyscira.
Yeah. Be the only man there. That's what I'm talking about.
Steve.
This is the last one.
So then when
Would
they decide they're just going to take you underground and use you only for breeding, then
Death by snoo snoo. I'm okay with that. Would you rather live in the Green Lantern's core Oa or the Star Wars universe?
Oh, Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I would go with the Star Wars universe.
If you lived in the Star Wars universe, what side would you be on?
What side would I like to be on, or realistically, what side would I be on?
I'll go with you
I
would
would
like
like
to be
to
on.
say that I'm part of the rebellion. However, I think the reality of the situation is the government is all over the galaxy, right?
Mhm.
So like I might just be a cook in some cafe, so you know, that serves coffee to soldiers. That doesn't mean I'm fully supporting the empire, but I make coffee for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I'm a plumber, so I fix all the toilets on the Death Star every 3 months, and then I get to fly home to where my far-flung planet. Doesn't mean I'm part of the empire. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's all my would you rather places to live in Marvel. There'll be more like those too. I got so many more.
Right on.
I'd like to be like one of those like smugglers on the outer rim.
Don't look at anything. Don't look at anything. No, don't look at it. What? Any of it.
I don't know. I think I would like being on Oa if I was a Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I think I would like to live on Oa.
Now, do I have any Force sensibilities if I'm in the Star Wars universe?
I'm gonna say no.
I still go Star Wars universe.
You can still go like pod racing and do some cool stuff like that.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true.
Swamp rat hunting or something.
Yeah. You know, just don't go to Jabba's bar.
Yeah, right.
So many people died there. And that's all I have.
All right.
More to come.
Well, I will tell you guys, we are back on Sunday, March 23rd. For film and box office news. We're doing Penny Marshall, season of directors. This is Cliff. He chose Big, Tom Hanks. I'll be watching this weekend.
I've seen this movie forever, but I do like it a lot.
Yeah. We're also here Monday for episode 134 of New Keys and Hot Comics Live. And in a couple of weeks, look at that. Fill in the blanks. Thursday, April 3rd, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Episode 5, Ultimate X-Men.
Yep.
And
I don't know if I'm going to do May Storm or I'm going to do Armor.
Yeah.
Maybe
I was going to say, like, May Storm is probably my favorite.
I agree.
Like, so I want to give a shout out to everybody who came in. So put your snicks in, get your claws out. A big shout out to Brian LCS, who became a YouTube member. JSS Brooklyn, evening. Canadian Survivalist, thanks for stopping by. Kenneth Bird, thanks for stopping by. Space Case Collectibles, Digger Jim, Canadian Survivalist, Ryan LCS. Hoffrey Castro is here tonight, as well as Cliff on Comics. Thank you for stopping by.
Hope you feel better, Cliff.
And who else? L. Ron Hubbard won a duck. TM Nerdy was here tonight.
Nice. His 20
like
ducks.
Yeah. Well, I think that is it, everybody. So I will give you. There it is. I'll give you 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's draw. Who is it going to be?
Woo! Canadian Survivalist, you are a winner.
Hey, it's on a week that we draw Canadian super.
On a week that you draw a Canadian, like, yeah, it's
Yes.
Canadian Survivalist. That's great. What a way to wrap it up. So
Almost
let's see. I can see green shirt guys right there. Let's see it. C-Bizzle. Hold it up.
I had to get it put it closer. Let me cut off this light.
Okay.
This will be
Let me
blind.
go back and throw a lot more detail into this. And kind of
All right.
theme.
Hang on.
Same. I didn't. Greaser
Hold
guy.
on. Do it again. Do it again.
Greaser guy. I did not put it like up close. The claws
There
up
we
to his
go.
face. I did it
All right.
further back. I did it further back.
Okay.
So, and I got both claws in there.
You got the face
So,
mask going. I see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So very
So-
nice. Yeah, I'm gonna put green shirt guys up right there too. Like that's very nice. Very nice,
It's
fellas.
nice. I'm gonna color
Yeah,
mine
it's cool.
too.
Whole lot of
Greaser guy.
black onto this thing still. 'Cause the
Yeah,
whole
that's what I'm
costume's
gonna
mostly
do.
Black.
Yeah, it
Yes.
says Brooklyn approved. Thank you. Great show tonight. Thank you for
Originally,
watching,
I was
JS
planning on
Brooklyn.
doing smaller, like this. So,
Mhm.
like I would have it cut off here, and then I have this on the back cover. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Maybe we'll see.
No. Oh, I could have done that. Maybe next time.
So, from myself, green shirt guy, C-Bizzle, Cliff, Sam, the rest of the Council of Comics. We will catch you Sunday. Have a good one, everybody, and take care.
Hey, it's the brightest day. Where are the heroes?